been making pizza for a long time. It was one of the first things that we ever did, especially in home economics in the UK. After scones, it went on to pizza. However, this will be the first time I've ever made cheese. So what I'm using for this was a Christmas present, which is a beginner's cheese making kit. And we're going to be making some mozzarella based on the instructions held therein. So, what is cheese? It's basically milk that's slightly gone off, but in a nice way. And I have no problem with that. For this milk, my partner and I, we went on a little trip to a dairy, which includes some images and a bit of video here. And they had this milk bottle refilling machine. So we took with us some classic glass milk bottles and these little reusable tops and filled up 4 litres of milk, since apparently that's what's required for this. So we start with following the method as described in this little recipe book that came with the kit. We need 250ml of water and 1.5 teaspoons of citric acid, which was included in the kit. However, as I do with lots of my own brewing, I'm just going to use this rather than opening up a new packet. Now, I'm going to give that a mix off camera. Next, what we need to do is 60ml of water with 1 scoop of rennet. So this kit came with this absolutely tiny little spoon. Not 100% sure what it says on it, it's all in Chinese, but I believe it's along the lines of 0.25 grams that this will take, or 0.25 teaspoons. So I need a little bit of the rennet, which comes in these annoying little bags. So I'll get that done off camera as well. 1 tiny little spoon of rennet. This is vegetarian rennet, and it's strange and slightly alarming the amount of people who don't understand that not all cheese is vegetarian. As non-vegetarian cheese, the rennet is made from the stomach lining of a cow or its calf. So if you do have vegetarians in your life, check that the cheese is actually vegetarian before serving it. Now time to add the milk. So as I said previously, we need 4 litres, which is just short of 8 of these pint bottles. However, the place that we got it from did them in 500ml increments. So we've got 8 of these bottles. I'll be back with you when they're in. Okay, we now have 4 litres of milk, and this pan is quite close to full, but it is currently the biggest one I have. If I'm making this in the future, I might invest in another larger one. So what we need to do now is add the citric acid solution in the water. So this is what's going to start curdling the milk and starting it on the process to being cheese. Now we need to put it on a low heat and bring it up to 38 degrees. What I'm going to use for measuring the temperature is my little thermometer spoon. It's a spoon with a built-in thermometer. When the button decides to work, there we go. Gives you the temperature. It's currently 15 degrees in my kitchen, which is warmer than outside, but still cold. So once it's at 38 degrees, I'll be back with you. It's literally only been a few seconds, and the milk itself is still only 10 degrees, but you can see the starting of some curds going there. So it shows you how quickly milk reacts with citric acid. Similar can be done with vinegar, however you end up with something that's a bit more akin to nylon than cheese, so I probably wouldn't recommend that. There we go, magic 38, so what we need to do now, turn the heat off. Don't know how well you can see this, but oh yeah, there we go. Some nice curds have started to form there. So what we need to do now is add the rennet, give it a little stir, and leave for 10 minutes off the heat. So this is the rennet solution that I've made before. Give that a good pour in and a gentle stir. So now we just leave it for 10 minutes apparently, and come back and check on the progress to see whether it starts to solidify further. I will see you then. It's been an extra 10 minutes. Really doesn't look like much has changed, however, it is now much firmer texture. You see, I don't know if you can. I'm touching it, it's a bit wobbly. So I believe that's what it should be like. So the next step is to cut into uniform curds, creating a grid pattern. So we now have griddy curds. What we need to do is put it back on the heat to bring it up to 41 degrees Celsius this time rather than at 38. So again, I will have the, what did I call it? The spoomometer, and we'll come back to you when it hits 41. It's hit 41 degrees. Supposedly the curd's meant to be clumping together, however, I'm not really seeing that. But the next step is for the next 5 minutes, I stand here and gently stir to bring them all together. I'm not going to make you watch that, so I'll be back again when that's done. Stirring complete. I have used a slotted spoon to remove, near as damn it, all of the curds from the whey, which has currently been set aside because, I don't know if you can tell, but that is a lot of curds. So I think there'll be more than enough for a pizza or two from this. So I'll be putting it in the fridge, in the whey, later. So there are now two ways you can progress, either with a microwave or on the hob. I don't have a microwavable bowl, so we're going on the hob. What we need to do now is basically cut these curds up into reasonably similar sized chunks before dipping them, getting them into this water at about 80 degrees. What are we on now? 71, 2, 3, so 72.5 degrees, so give that a moment more. And basically we need to fold all these curds together so it slightly cooks in the hot water, but comes together as well, clumps together as nice, smooth cheese. And once we've done that, basically we've got mozzarella. The folding will continue until it is smooth, but other than that, we'll pretty much be ready to eat it. So I'll see you either when it's time to stretch or when I'm done stretching, because I don't know how this is going to go, especially since it's 80-degree water and it suggests using your hands or spoons. I'm probably going to use spoons since I don't have asbestos fingers. Anyway, I will see you at one of those two stages. Okay, so after a bit of messing around with spoons to start stretching it in the water, as it cooled down slightly, I started kneading it by hand, much as you would bread, and looking at it, that is as close as I'm going to get, most likely, to a ball of mozzarella. So, we now have to see how it does on pizza. Normally I would make my own pizza bread, however, since this is the first time I'm making cheese, I don't want to have too many variables, so I'm just going to use a standard pizza dough, which will be done in the pizza oven. I'll show you that in a second. And I'm going to top mine with, obviously, mozzarella, some tomato sauce, again, but this time I do make my own, and chorizo. Never made that before. Might do in the future. Let's see. Yeah, I'll see you when the pizza's done.
So to make life easier when I'm making the pizza, I chuck this in the fridge for an hour and it's firmed up. Something nice. Let's be honest, it's going to be rude not to have a bit before it goes on pizza. Like I say, it's mozzarella. So I'm now going to get the pizza oven up and running. Roll out the dough, some of this, some pizza sauce, and my chorizo. Whack it in and you can have a look when that's done.
Right, the pizza is done, fresh off the oven. tell it's been properly wood fired since it's burnt-ish around there and not quite there. But this isn't about the pizza. This is about the cheese. So let's give it a bite. That is gooey, very, very gentle flavour. Not as salty as the stuff you buy in a supermarket, which is probably a good thing. So yeah, I'm enjoying that, and not quite as pully, but once you get it, that isn't bad for something I've never done before. So yeah, try one of these kits if you haven't, or if you're better than, don't say better than that, have a look online or a local cheesemakers guild, I don't know, see where you can get some of these ingredients and just give it a go. It's something that tickles your fancy. So that's all for now. Thanks very much. I'll see you next time.